Welcome back. Today I have a very exciting news roundup for Palantir. We have confirmation that Palantir is partnered with Microsoft, as we had previously hypothesized. First, we'll take a look at the stock intraday here following the general market, trending lower on Friday, July 2nd. We'll see on the week here for the last 5 days, Palantir coming into the week on Monday at $27 a share, not having a good week overall, falling down nearly 10% on the week. Not a big deal for anyone that is a long-term investor, but a bit of a reset to the rally. Personally, I think I would have been more worried if Palantir continued to run without cooling off a bit. Anyways, first up for the week is the confirmation that I talked about in a job posting that Palantir is partnered with Microsoft. And you'll recall that in a prior video, I was saying how Microsoft and Palantir teaming up to invest and partner with Wejo was a sign that they could possibly be working together themselves. And indeed, today we see that is most likely a reality. Here's a role on LinkedIn for Manager of Global Microsoft Alliance. This is from Palantir Technologies, posted 7 days ago for Seattle, Washington. They say, in this role, you will join our alliance team in support of our strategic relationship with Microsoft and will be accountable to develop a world-class joint GTM partnership. You will lead the development and execution of the Microsoft Palantir strategic partnership by aligning very closely with Microsoft's global ISV strategic alliances portfolio. So there you have it, confirmation of the Microsoft Palantir strategic partnership. I think it's a little too early to read into what exactly this means. I will be on the lookout for an official announcement from either Palantir or Microsoft, much like we have seen Palantir working with large companies such as Amazon and IBM for strategic partnerships. So again, I'm not entirely sure the technicality of what this partnership is, because I do think we need to get an official briefing on that. But here are some of the core responsibilities. Develop joint business plans, working with Microsoft team, including launch planning, enablement, and co-marketing strategies for growing joint pipeline, wins, and consumption of Foundry on Azure. So there it is, Foundry and Azure working together. Foundry being Palantir software, Azure being Microsoft's. Palantir Foundry working with AWS and Palantir Foundry working with IBM's Cloud Pak for Data. I do think this is a similar type deal. Second responsibility being lead the effective collaboration of deal level tactics between Palantir sales team and Microsoft at both new and existing customers to drive new logos and sourced influenced revenue. Next is triangulate between Microsoft industry team and global system integrators to strategize and build archetypes for industry priority scenarios using Palantir software. So again, building on the archetypes that we've seen Palantir show off before. And if you needed any further convincing for the role, you need a familiarity with Microsoft's One Commercial Partner program, especially Azure and their cloud strategy. So a shout out to two people on this, the first being Jake Urey for surfacing this for me, and Ralphie for the mention on Twitter. Next up, an explanation, if you will, on why Palantir stock has been selling off recently. If you look closely, this is Palantir CEO Alex Karp in an interview series published yesterday, July 1st. This is actually in French, so they have English subtitles throughout. I'll get to the content in just a moment. But if you look closely, as I was saying, this is CEO Alex Karp. Now, if you weren't paying very close attention, you would not be able to tell because he is wearing a hat, which is, naturally, the obvious explanation for why the stock has been trending lower. As we have said before, there is a direct relationship between Alex Karp's hair length and the stock price. So I take it as a temporary sign of weakness that he has donned a baseball cap. Nevertheless, still very impressive that he is fluently speaking French and talking about Foundry and Palantir and everything there is to talk about. So here's Jake back again. He gives a very good recap of the interview. Here's saying Karp attributed the creation of Skywise to Airbus. It was you who learned very quickly you made Skywise. So Karp believes Skywise is the most interesting software project in all of Europe. maybe even the world. Skywise incorporates quality, supply chain, production schedules, customers, and service. And Airbus needed to go to customers and suppliers to incorporate them. That's why it became this platform. It started as a single solution, but now serves over 100 airlines. And as we've heard before, Alex says the world has moved on from having software as a luxury to instead companies needing it for survival. With real effective software, you can change the world. Next up, Palantir on Twitter today saying that they did actually win an award recently, on top of the AWS award that I put a video out for 2 days ago. So Palantir officially receiving the Digital Innovation Award for providing the innovation that organizations can use to transform their data processes and insights. So now Palantir Foundry actually won the award. It wasn't Gotham, it wasn't Apollo, it was actually Foundry specifically. And Foundry won the overall Digital Innovation Award. So overall, the best innovation digitally. These awards identify the technologies that have the most striking impact in their respective markets. The prestigious Ventana Research Digital Innovation Awards recognize trailblazing vendors that contribute advancements in technology, drive change, and increase value for organizations worldwide, backed by market research and analyst expertise across business and IT. So great to see Palantir being recognized in this way. And also just to circle back on the Grupo Global partnership, a few things I did not touch on when I talked about it before. The first being what I did not realize, which I was not reading into this, I was just watching the video that Palantir put out, which I probably should have done both. This is Latin America's largest media company and speaks to more than 100 million people in Brazil every day. Someone in the comments told me it was Brazil's version of CNN. So this is actually a much bigger deal than I initially realized. And here's Shyam Sankar with a quote. "At Palantir, we are proud to work on the most difficult problems, and it is an honor to put our technology to work at a company that is not only a leader in the region, but an organization that is profoundly committed to its digital transformation. We are excited to contribute to helping Globo make the best possible use of its data to transform its enterprise." So this ties back to the idea of data literacy. And I had someone email me, and I'll show you how to do that in a second if you wish to. But someone named Joe reached out to me and shared this idea of digital literacy, which is the ability to read, understand, create, and communicate data as information. So he shared this article with me from Harvard Business Review, and it says, "Boost your team's digital literacy." This falls very well in line with what Palantir is doing. They say, "We recently conducted a focus group of 20 sophisticated companies telling us which data skills were missing in their own organizations. These analytics teams told us they were not suffering from a lack of technical skills, but from skills in data-driven problem solving." So just to jump in, Palantir is all about not requiring technical skills, not requiring a technical degree per se, but enabling anyone to benefit from their platform's problem solving. So these companies mention that they are lacking the following: the ability to ask the right questions of the data, to understand which data is relevant and how to test the validity of the data they have, to interpret the data well so the results are useful and meaningful, to test hypotheses using A/B tests to see what results pan out, to create easy to understand visualization so leaders understand the results, and to tell a story to help decision makers see the bigger picture and act on the results of analysis. So that is huge. That is basically Palantir's value proposition. Digital literacy has become important for almost everyone. Companies need more people with the ability to interpret data. This is not an article referencing Palantir, but Palantir's platforms and tools allow anyone to be able to interpret data. It does the heavy lifting, combining human intelligence with artificial intelligence to draw insights and to ask the right questions in the first place. These are skills that anyone can develop, and there are now many ways for individuals to upskill themselves and for companies to support them, lift capabilities, and drive change. Indeed, the data itself is clear on this. Data-driven decision-making markedly improves business performance. So there you have it. That is basically the value proposition for Palantir's software. As I said, I'm opening up my email domain here, which is hello@palantirvision.com. If you work for or with Palantir, have any related experience or a unique perspective and info to share, please send me a note. And also, I purchased the domain here, palantirvision.com, so if you ever want to get back to the channel, that's all you need to type. So I will be taking the long weekend off from videos. I don't expect too much news, and I hope everyone enjoys the American holiday, Independence Day, of course. So if you want anything to watch over the weekend, and you have not already seen my two long-form conversations, the first with Jacob Urey, and the second with Palantir Daily, you can check those out on the channel. Here's Jacob Urey saying, "Tesla has built something to compress production delivery timeline better than any other OEM by a mile." Speculating, is this what Palantir is working on behind the scenes? On Palantir enabling Tesla's pace of innovation, you can check out my last episode there, and general discussion with Jake Urey. I'll be back next week with more. Until next time.